You are looking live from Five Flags Speedway, the half-mile short track located in Pensacola, Florida for tonight's action of BPNR Season 8. This is the Gulf Coast Thunder 125. Joining me in the booth tonight is Brendan Willington.
Hello, Victor. Pleasure to be here today.
So whilst qualifying is ongoing, about a minute and half so left, take a look at the point standings. William Viola, after his win at Barbagallo, has jumped to the top. Dylan Pratt second, Tyler Aziz third. He is a notable as he is not present tonight. On around the bubble, we got Carter Friesen, a race winner in ninth place. Cole Rodriguez, 10th place, also a race winner. And the two wildcard spots belong to Kirsten Bell and Daniel Rodriguez. But Rodriguez doesn't have that big of a cushion to work with, only 2 points ahead of William Gregory. 5 races in so far, and first short track of the season. Brandon, what do you expect for tonight?
Well, it's a 125 lap. Well, it's a 125 lap race, so this is definitely going to be a race of attrition, I think. You put 26 cars on a small track like this one, not a whole lot of room to get away from chaos. So I think definitely the drivers at the front are going to have a lot easier of a time. If you get kind of stuck in the back, then you could get swallowed up in a litany of different things that can end up happening to you. That's really out of your control.
Few seconds left, and we'll go to happy hour. William Viola, your points leader, has acquired pole position. Actually, the top two are the same top two from the points graphic. Donna Pratt starts alongside Cole Rodriguez in third, Negron fourth, Crawford fifth, Trowick sixth, and Gibson seventh, Bedimlik eighth, Hunt in ninth, and Landon Lau complete your top 10. With Skylar Deeg 11th, Cole Mather 12th, Daniel Sill 13th, Thomas Troxel 14th, William Gregory 15th, Johnny Howell 16th, Matt Isbell 17th, Clements 18th, Roman Gonzalez 19th, Aiden McCrow completes your top 20, Brandon Carter 21st, Carl Childress 22nd, Joe Spuda 23rd, Ian Rodriguez 24th, Lane Johnson must have a spin during qualifying as they're the 25th and final car to set lap time, leaving only Carter Friesen to not set a lap time. 26 cars for tonight. I feel like you're right about what you said. Track position, very important, especially when you have a big field like this. Excuse me. So as Brandon mentioned, 125 laps. The game will say 135, just as in case of overtime. And 2x rare for tonight, so we expect a one-stop strategy, but honestly, I think it's just gonna be a lot of caution. It's just stay out of trouble, really.
Yeah, and if we get a caution, it would be smart to just put on tires, because you really don't want to get stuck out on old tires at a track like this. The pack's really going to eat you up.
Well, it's a debate. I'm thinking if the run was short enough, you could stay out. Just favor track position, and it could pay dividend as those on new tires are stuck in the back, having to use up their rubber trying to cut through the traffic, and it ultimately equals out when the long run comes around.
Yeah, I think it really does depend on if this is one of those kind of stop and go type races where you do get a lot of yellows. I think at that point you probably would just kind of favor track position in that case. Might see some drivers try a bit of different tire strategies, depending on how the race plays out.
Couple drivers to look at. Stevie Gibson He's usually pretty good at the short tracks. I believe he was fastest in practice. Let me check. He was. So came in late into the practice session, set a 21.5, beating out Dunlop Pratt's time. He's one of the favorites for tonight. William Viola, pole sitter for tonight. He's been quite. He didn't have a good Daytona race. He did finish 11th, but that's likely a race to forget for him. But ever since then, his last few starts, he's been on fire, slowly climbing up the ranks and finally getting his first win of the season last Tuesday at Barbagallo, the road course in Aussie. We have not one, but two drivers in this field who share the same birthday. Happy birthday to driver of the number 77, Dylan Negron, with the Peugeot 77 car, and if I can find them, number 13, Skylar Deeg, also shares the birthday. So, happy birthday to the two of them. Hopefully they do well tonight. If they find themselves at the front looking for a race win, unfortunately you can't have two race winners, so you're gonna have to figure it out. Now, luckily we don't have to use this tonight, but new rule set in regards to qualifying for BPNR. Well, this has been a mainstay, but it has been put into effect now. So the first four races were just top 36 straight up, and nothing gimmicky. But from race 5 onwards, it will be top 30 from qualifying, and the final 6 spots are made up of drivers who have the best position in terms of points. So if you're someone like Viola, the Prad, Tyler Aziz, if he was here, uh, if he had either any of them had a bad qualifying run, and unfortunate to make the top 30, as long as they set a lap time, they can use those provisionals to get into the show. Yeah, under 4 minutes, though I suspect that we will get going rather soon. It is our first short track in the season, and big key to winning these places, stay out of trouble. We kind of has been seeing it as we progress through Happy Hour, the amount of wrecks, spins, that just anything can go around this place, especially at 5 flags, big track blocker type track, and as long as you keep your car clean, you could find yourself in position to win. I don't mind to keep you quiet. Is there anything you want to bring up?
It's a bit hard for me to talk while I'm listening to the pre-race
Oh,
rundown.
yeah. Because it's a collab thing, I have to mute all those admins, so my apologies. Just your usual stuff, 2 cars and a crash, a flip. I'm surprised that, but this was one of the caution triggers last season, and wore a bit ups of a outrage by the drivers, including myself. The all the races this season were are raced back to the line when there's a caution, as we utilize game cautions now. But at the short tracks last season, with enough outrage, this was changed for the remaining short tracks of the season to where it was field frozen instead of race back. It did help that we weren't using the pace car back then, but as we use the pace car nowadays, as well as the choose cone, they will keep the race back consistent on all the races, which honestly I strongly despise, but I'm not the one running the league. They can do their own thing. Kinda just waiting around. Um, under 2 minutes.
And what I've been seeing, seems like I've seen a lot of cars getting pretty tail happy off of turn 4, so that might be something to watch out for. That could be a trouble spot as the race gets on. And then obviously on corner entry, you got to make sure that you slow down enough so that you don't run through the car in front of you.
Yeah, pretty slidey setup, and especially on cold tires or even worn tires as the run progresses, you're gonna see a lot of tail happy cars.
Yeah, I think there's probably a bit of a curve to it. The first few laps on the tires, you slide a lot in the corner, and then the car starts to kind of rubber into the track, and it's fine for a few laps. And then once you get towards the end of the tire run and the tires start to wear out, then it starts getting slidey again.
It's one of those things, short track subs, I suppose. A minute to go. Well, there will be 30 seconds left, and happy hour should be ready to go soon. 26 cars. Who do you think should win today?
Well, I have not kept that much up with BPNR this season so far, but William Viola is the points leader and also starting on pole. So I'd say the 27 car would be a pretty good bet to win this race.
Honestly, really good pick. I'm honestly gonna go with Dunlap Pratt. He's been running consistent laps as I've seen him through practice, and he won the Essex race here, so some amount of experience from that race should carry over into this one. Maybe a new track for BPNR, but it's familiar territory for Dunlap Pratt. With that, should be ready to go. Alright, well, it says 300 laps, but going to go 125. That is the scheduled distance. 2x where is cut physics, and overtime is possible. So I suppose an extra 175 laps won't hurt them too much.
It's the 175 lap over.
Good thing there's only one attempt of overtime, otherwise we'll be here all night if
Oh
this
yeah.
race goes to deep end. Let me get my cams ready. Make my way here. Command has been fired. Engines are rolling. Pace car dives in under the lights in Pensacola, Florida. It'll be Viola and the Pratt leading the field to green, and we are underway. See Troxel towards the back. He's been having warp issues all day, so everyone's gonna try to negotiate around him.
Through lap number 1. The 77 got a pretty good jump on that start, and he's up to second, and they're spinning out behind.
That'll be
That's
Landon
wild.
Lyle up against the outside wall. Only single
And a
car, but the
couple more on the
oh,
backstretch.
that's
Oh,
backstretch says Carl Childress, Joe Shibuda, Roman Gonzalez, and there's more trouble. Just ongoing. That'll be Cole Rodriguez,
they're
and there'll be a
resetting.
reset.
Yeah. I thought they only reset when they crashed on lap 1. They crashed on lap 2 that time.
I mean, it's a short track. I guess it's a little more lenient.
Okay, that's fair. Great.
As we used up, I want to only resets. That early going, lap one, there was already a spin. So hopefully that doesn't set the tone of what's to come tonight.
Yeah, definitely want to see some clean racing and get a long run in here for sure. I expect the start to be a little bit more chaotic, but maybe as the race goes on, it starts to thin out a little bit, and maybe you get a little
Drivers,
more green flag
start
racing
your engines.
in the middle or towards the end of the race.
Try this again. Attempt 2 here in BPNR. Pace car will dive in. William Viola, your points leader, with second place in points, Dunlop Prad. Beside him, and we are underway again.
Better start by Cole Rodriguez that time.
Leaders are still side by side as at exit turn number 2, but Dunlop Prad just stuck in that outside lane that should mean Viola could get clear for the lead, and he will, leading the opening lap.
So the 97 washed up the track, lose a few positions. Cole Rodriguez will move into second. LaPrade will drop to third. The 77 and
And
76.
yep, there's a wreck in
Oh,
the
the
back, that
76
being
gets
Carl
loose.
Childress and Carter Friesen, 2-car accidents. Another one on the front, that's July Howell spinning. It's only single car. Got multiple accidents ongoing at the same time.
3 wide.
And that is the caution,
Lyle
our
backs
first
out.
one of the night. Viola will win the
Early
race
yellow.
back, with Cole Rodriguez second, Dunlop Pratt third. The ground fourth, and Gibson fifth. Pit lane is not open, so take
And
a
you've
look.
only got a few laps on your tires, so I don't expect anybody to come in here except maybe cars with damage, cars towards the back.
Get a replay. This is with Childress. Gets shot up by Daniel Rodriguez, a white Toyota on the bottom lane, and Carter Friesen, 67, new livery for this week, nowhere to go. Go on board with Friesen. And pit lane open this time, and there'll be, I believe, Shmuda, Friesen, and Childress. So all those cars who have wrecked came down the pit lane.
Worth noting, the 55 of Elaine Johnson apparently had a game freeze and has now disconnected.
It's early in the race, and luckily we're under caution, so they should get their laps back. Majority of the field stays out under our first caution flag here at 5 Flags Speedway. Only 5 laps in, about to complete number 6. He's up the choose cone. And they wrecked in the back. That is Skylar Deegan spun around perpendicular at the start finish line. I was readjusting my camera to get a good look at the choose cone, but then they wrecked. Just a classic case of stack ups under caution, and well, it is what it is. And lights are out, we're going green. top three pick
They're
the bottom.
choosing.
Negron the first at the top lane.
We saw in that first attempt, the 77 was able to get down to the inside pretty quickly. Maybe he's going to try the same maneuver on this restart.
Got Ford and Peugeot leading the field to green. Pair of Toyotas in row 2. A Chevrolet and a Toyota in row number 3. Pace car heads in. And a rough start, but we are green. Dead even into turn 1, but Negron is going to try to diamond the corner a little bit. Unable to get side by side with Viola.
Here's for second.
Negron with the great choose cone selection gets promoted to P2. Cole Rodriguez sits third. Bidimlik in fourth. New livery for this week, the Wix Filters Toyota Camry. These cars are just getting stacked up amongst one another. Got Crawford, 7th place. Now he finds his way to the inside lane as he's gonna try to peek his nose under Dunlop Pratt, unable to do so. Lane allowed number 99 trying to change things up. He's gonna try high side, but unable to make that move work. 97 smacks the wall. Gonna see that a lot as Cole Mather gets shuffled
the
up the
track.
hill.
That's going to lose a few spots for Mather. Goes down to 13th. Battle for third. 66 is trying to go around the outside lane, but it's not going to work out. And now the opportunity for Steven Gibson to try and take fourth. The 66 is very loose in the middle of the corner, and he's going to lose P4.
Yeah, he thought being aggressive at the top side would work, but unfortunately he was too aggressive. And Dylan Negron is going to shuffle out of line through turns 3 and 4. He's going to lose a couple positions.
Yolis had good control of this race so far. Rodriguez up to second. He's also been pretty smooth and steady here in this first part of the race. I'm watching that 21 gaining positions coming up through the field as he started in the back half of the top 10, I believe. Great single file throughout the entire thing. There's still plenty of laps left for that
And
to
we got
change.
Spinner as Mantis Wells at number 20 out of turn 4.
Ooh.
Number 13 Skylar D had that trouble under caution, narrowly hits them, but not enough to warrant a caution.
Top three are starting to pull away a little bit. But Limic's trying to get by Negron here for fourth. 6 the nose underneath, and they're side by side.
Really sideways is a bit dim like down the backstretch.
The 101.
Yep,
They
they're
stopped in turn 4.
Yeah, trying to find an opening, and he does. Gets out of the way. For second, as Mantis Wells is stuck in the inside wall on the front stretch, Cole Rodriguez he's done very well to defend P2, but how long can he survive on that outside lane against Steven Gibson? Not very long, as he nearly sides it. It'll be Gibson to second.
You don't want to be on that outside in turn 4. There's just no grip up there. Like we saw in practice, you just fishtail out of that corner very easily to lose the car there. Rodriguez is lucky that he only lost third and not more than that. LaPrat is back up to fourth. He's gotten past Budlimic. Harry Crawford not far behind. Landon Lyle and Dylan Negron, and Negron's going to get into the wall. Lose a spot to him and Alexander Hunt.
It's so easy to make a mistake here. Now the right passenger side of Negron's car caved in. He replicates what traffic
Oh,
has in terms of damage, gets sideways.
that was a good save.
And Cole Mather too, out of turn number 4. Lane Johnson heads into the pit lane.
You're seeing how much that tire wear is starting to make the track really slick.
Brandon Carter spins again. This time he toes to the pits.
Leaders are in lap traffic.
Yep, just
Getting by
lapping
McCrow.
Hayden McCrow. Up the road is Carter Friesen, but the two leaders are side by side. Gibson and number 21 trying to look outside. Viola has led every lap so far and is looking to continue that for another 100 laps.
He's under a lot of pressure right now. Viola slips up once. Gibson's going to be right there.
May not even be Viola. Seeing Carter Friesen up the road really sideways. So if it hinders the two leaders, Gibson's gonna have to pounce on that opportunity.
Also got the 13 car there.
Yep,
Who is gonna move
67
high.
makes the move for position. And that allows Viola to get to the 13s inside. They allow Gibson to close up, but not by much.
Yeah, you still got Friesen out in front of this, and Friesen's already been around a couple of times this race. Oh, here we go. Maybe an opportunity. Oh, the 21 appears to be... Oh, he's fine. Yeah, a bit
What I
of a
like to
warp
call the
there.
tactical warping from Stephen Gibson. Look towards the mid-pack. Got Dan Rodriguez nearly chopping off Brandon Carter. You get this mix as Cole Mather spins at turn 3. But somehow gets to the apron. Only a single car, but what's not as... What may not be a single car soon is Dylan Negron spun backwards at turn 4. Gonna park it to the inside lane. And he's gonna have to tow. Sucks for him, he was in the top 5.
He had a good start to the race, but then he started getting shuffled back once the run got a little longer and evidently spun out of turn 4. So that's unfortunate for him. These top 2 have really pulled away from everybody. They've got about a 2.5-second lead on Cole Rodriguez in third. It's Viola and Gibson. I mean, those were 2 drivers that we mentioned in the pre-race as having a very good chance to win. And they are showing it right here.
Driver I'm surprised about who isn't up here. Joshua Clemens, he's usually good at the short tracks. His most recent short track run coming in IFAR at Lucas Oil Raceway Park. Currently sitting 12th. Slowly but surely he is climbing up, but not on track visit. Not passing anyone on track as he nearly hits William Gregory. But he's just been stuck back here amongst the trenches.
And that's also something that we mentioned in the pre-race, where if you get stuck in the back, it is not the easiest to get out of it. And sometimes you, the 30 stacked him up. They kept it going. Just like that. Stuff exactly like that ends up happening, and there's not a whole lot that you can do about it. So Clemens is going to have to find some way to get some more track position as this race goes on. We've been relatively clean, as in not many cautions after that first
I
one.
just saved that. Wow, they saved it.
Wow.
Oh, never mind. There goes Clements, and that'll be William Gregory. That
Be a
has to be
yellow.
a caution. And there is
That's
a
right in
track
front of the
blocker on
leader.
the front stretch.
Oh, the 21 is in it.
Oh, and this is why I don't like race specs. At short tracks, it puts the leaders at risk. Unfortunately, Gibson is collected among those. He was second place, demoted to 4th.
Doesn't look like much damage, though. That is definitely recoverable for the 21 car, but that is a bad break there.
This would be top two pitting, as all the lead lap cars get first pick. So we had a good run going, but unfortunately that just turned turned sour for the leaders. William Viola, however, remains unscathed.
He had to get his way through that accident. He was right in the middle of it, and he did a great job of avoiding getting damaged or really getting slowed down by it much. And we were just talking about how Clements was struggling and how he needed to find some track position, and that's not what he wanted to happen for sure.
Well, look at that. Once we see the battle off the pit lane, but that was
Oh,
won
pit
by
stop by
Viola.
LaPrade.
Yep, LaPrade with the second pit box as Viola left. That left plenty of space for the three to make use of that open space. Trying to find it. So starts with Clements. Gains just losing the back end of battles, Bill and Gregory nearly spins it and saved it, but unfortunately that just collected everyone behind him. That'll be Mattis Wells. Viola had to sneak his way through. Carter Friesen, William Gregory, Cart Childress I saw.
It was just another car getting tail happy off of turn 4. A lot of them have been able to recover, but Clements wasn't.
Go on board with William Viola, your race leader, as he had to find his way through the wreck. Looks to me the seas parted for Viola, and he was able to keep the lead. Not going green yet, likely 2 to go until then. Meanwhile, William Viola won out of the pit lane, got a few lapped cars gained their waiver rounds. Donna Pratt second, Gibson third. Cole Rodriguez fourth, Harry Crawford fifth, Lane Allow P6, Alexander Hunt seventh, Daniel Silla in eighth. Then Riley Trabeck in P9, Nicholas Bidimlik completing your top 10. Carter Friesen, the only other car on the lead lap according to scoring. But there's only been one retirement, that being Jelani Howell. As everyone gets waved around. Strategy. Well, I'm presuming go green with roughly 75 to go. That could be, honestly, a one stop might be better, but it is possible to go from on fumes from here until the scheduled checker flag.
Right, they're choosing here. It looks like a lot of cars going to the inside, but 66 and 12 going to go high to gain some positions here, possibly.
Much like the race starts, it will be Viola and LaPrade on your front row. Then it is Gibson and Cole Rodriguez first and third and fourth, two Toyotas, followed by another pair of Toyotas as we're back on the way.
Oh boy, and what a decision that was for Nicholas Svidlemek. Was in 10th, got up to that shoes on the outside lane and immediately was able to drop back down to the inside, and now he's in 6th. 3
Oh,
wide
Gibson
almost
could
for the
try
lead.
3 wide, backs out.
That was risky.
But 2
3 is rolling
leaders
the top
still
pretty
side
well.
by side. Man, Gregory spun turn 3, 4 already out of the way. And
Ooh.
the Pratt's trying. He's trying to get a lap lead, get the lead from Viola, but so far it hasn't really been working for him.
Nobody's been able to take the lead from Viola. He's led every lap so far. But Pratt has been rolling the top better than I've seen anyone else do so far in this race, but still not really making much progress up there. As the 21 tries to get back to second, Stephen Gibson, and he's going to get it.
Now under attack for the Pratt is Cole Rodriguez. This will be in exchange for third.
Larry Crawford back there as well in fifth, trying to take advantage.
Has nose under. The Pratt gives him the space. Got Lanalao waiting in the wings. Check back here. Got Cole Mather lap down in front of Carl Judges, currently 11th. And Troxel continues his airnet issues. He should be giving his laps back, but slowly but surely he is gaining his laps back, and finally he is put on a lead lap.
Brandon Carter is backwards on the front stretch. He's got it back going. Oh, watch out. Oh, the 27 and the 21. They had to try and get past him.
Viola left the door open for a split second, and that was scary for Viola.
Somehow Viola kept the lead.
They have strung out single file amongst the top 7. Alexander Hunt, the last car within this little train here.
Gibson has been working on this 27 for most of the race, just has not been able to find a way around. That was his best shot back there. That would have been a very risky move, but oh, he's almost getting into him into turn number 3.
He had to run down the backstretch, but didn't have the space to peek his nose under.
I think Gibson's going to start getting more aggressive. Tries the outside this time.
Yeah, Viola goes defensive, and Gibson's going to try and cross over, hits the apron just enough to get him sideways. Well, bottleneck over here, this will be 5th place. The Pratt restarted 2nd place down to 5th. Don't count him out yet, as the long run kicks in and hopefully not a caution during it. You could see him fighting for the lead. Right now he's just buying his time, trying to save his tires.
Couple lap cars ahead of the leader, Gregory and Shmuda. Gibson's trying high, maybe to get a run into turn 1. It's not quite going to work yet.
And just like before, Gibson's biggest opportunity to get the race lead is per the lap traffic. Only 2 cars right now, as Viola has caught Gregory. 30 cars gonna slide amongst the wall in turn 1.
We are approaching halfway at the end of this lap.
Right, stage points. Despite Gibson has been so aggressive, there will not be a caution, but the top 5 do get championship points as Shmuda gets out of the way, nearly gets hit by Cole Rodriguez. And out of 4, Viola wins the halfway as we get a spinner. That was Cole Mather. Everyone's gonna have to dodge him, sitting perpendicular at turn number 1.
I do not know how nobody hit him. He was right in the middle of the track. They had to fork him on both sides.
But there is a caution, likely for a separate incident.
think the caution was for that accident, actually. It came out right as he was stalled in turn 1.
So Viola, leading every lap, wins the halfway, Gibson second, Cole Rodriguez, Harry Crawford, and Dunlap Rad all get stage points, as I suppose this is a halfway caution regardless, whether they like it or not, as all of them, all of the lap cars go down to pits. Gibson fires off, but Viola wins off pit lane. Cole Rodriguez third, Crawford fourth, the Pratt fifth. See how this one occurred.
Basically came out the same same way they came in.
Have the replay. Well, Mather comes down the track off of 4 and gets into Clements. That's why he was stuck there. It just, man, all these lead lap cars who just got stage points as they run across the line, just having to immediately dodge him. That was just scary. I'm trying to find any other. Yep, I think you're right. That was the reason for caution. There was contact between the two cars of 12 and 92.
It seems like the official determined the 12 and the 92 both spinning and thus brought up the caution.
And I don't blame them either, even if it was a single car wreck. He was just in the middle of the racing line, and
He was in a terrible spot. It almost caused more cars to get involved. I noticed the 99 and I think either the 3 or the 49 both went low and just barely fit their way underneath.
so this would be caution number 2 of the day. Could
That
be
is
3.
caution number 2.
Yep. We've reached halfway of the scheduled 125 laps here at Five Flags. William Viola still leading every lap of the race. Steven Gibson, try as he might, he just couldn't find a way around him. And the pace car heads in, but we're not going green immediately. They have yet to do the choose cone, and here they go now.
Rodriguez to the top this time.
And Cole Rodriguez is one of those sleeper picks. He's pretty consistent no matter what track you put him on, and he did win last season's Rookie of the Year award as we are under green.
Great restart by the 27.
Yeah, great takeoff, but Cole Rodriguez did not, as Steven Gibson easily gets second place.
Oh, he might get second back there. Nope, didn't have the room. Here comes the 21. He's going to peak low, but he's going to get blocked down to the wall.
That's Viola being really aggressive. Track position is so important here, and leading every lap, trying to have a perfect race. As Gibson gets into it.
Around.
That's the race leader.
Oh, watch
around.
out.
Oh,
That's
he's
a
gonna
big
get
crash.
clobbered. That's Daniel Rodriguez.
65,
There's more
the
wrecking.
1.
That's Troxel. Oh,
92. Low 2.
Gonna be Silla, Gonzalez, Clemens got a piece of it.
Oh. Viola has got to be fuming. Rodriguez got the lead.
Yep, Cole Rodriguez, the sleeper pig, has found the race lead. So finally
we
we
had
get
noted.
someone. Yes, finally we get someone to dethrow. Oh!
Oh, and revenge!
Yeah, that gets
Oh,
in, but
that's gonna be a
also
parking.
includes Cole Rodriguez. Man.
That's gonna be a parking. At least.
Yep, 27 just did
I
that,
mean,
called it quits, but that deserves a suspension.
I understand his frustration, but that was completely uncalled for. You just cannot do something like that.
Where did Cole go? Here he is. He's gaining his position
He
back.
got spun out by that.
Yeah, that took out an innocent bystander.
Thankfully, no damage on the 91, but there is quite a bit of it on the 21.
Get our replay.
And
4.
27 is now out of the race.
Yep.
As you can imagine.
Viola went up the track just trying to complete the corner, and Gibson was already. He set him up perfectly. He got his nose under, and Viola saw this, tries to cut down, and ultimately, I feel like he wrecked himself there.
He made that aggressive block a couple laps ago, sending them all the way down to the wall. And he tried to do the same thing again, and it didn't work out as well. Then comes up the track, and then just nowhere for the 65 to go. Ends up on his roof.
He's gonna go on board with them. I mean, what are you supposed to do if you're Daniel Rodriguez? He just comes back up the track and no amount of reaction time
Absolutely
can get you
nowhere for him
out.
to go.
Yep. So he's got likely engine damage on top of the 21's rear end damage caused by the revenge punt from Viola as the choose cone commences.
Carter Friesen is now in the top 5 after spinning out multiple times in the start of the race. Good recovery from the 67.
So with the dominant car out of the race, this leaves Cole Rodriguez with the control of the restart. Dunlap P2, Gibson, and Friesen row number 2, back green, and they're already getting squirrely.
That was a messy restart. A lot of cars spun the tires.
And the B top 4 sliding in. Harry Crawford trying to get clear of Carter Friesen. And he does so.
The 21 has found himself in pretty much the same position he was in before, except now instead of chasing the 27, he's chasing Cole Rodriguez.
And like, you hate to be the second place driver, no matter who is in front of you. Cole Rodriguez gets a little tail happy out of 4, has to chip the wall. Got a passenger side damage. Not enough to demotivate him from winning the race despite it.
Friesen just got by Harry Crawford for P4. And like I said before the restart, this is a great recovery from Carter Friesen, considering he spun out several times at the start of the race, but it seems like he's got it figured out now. He's working on Dunlap now for 3rd. Bit of a slide out of the corner, and he's got to back out going into 1.
Yeah. If I'm correct, I believe Carter Friesen didn't set a qualifying time. We didn't have enough cars to consider DNQs, but having to start back there in the trenches, it's just... I didn't think he'll be up here, yet here he is. Now making the pass for third, on Dylan Pratt.
Also side by side for P6 behind. Landon Lyle's going to take the spot over Alexander Hunt. Thomas Troxell's up here despite the warping issues. He's managed to stay in the top 10.
You never know what happens with Troxell. I mentioned this before, like a few times now on the BPNR streams, but he flipped over in his BPNR duel at Daytona. Still found his way to finish 4th that day.
Up front, the 67 has gotten past the 21 and is now working on Cole Rodriguez.
Oh,
and
you're gonna
he's gonna
bump
make
him up the
contact.
road.
He sent him up the track, and we got a new leader.
Carter Friesen, who put on a dominant performance at Chicago, has taken the lead. He'll be our 3rd different leader of the night.
He is scooting away.
It's like similar fashion. He finds the clean air and just runs away, nearly getting his fastest lap that last time round, but he does currently have the fastest lap of the race, a 16.37, 1/10 clear of the next fastest being Alexander Hunt. Laps are winding down, and 5 flags. Got 34 to go now. Of the scheduled 125, Carter Friesen has just checked out. 4/10 faster than Steven Gibson, who gets tail happy. That rear end damage makes him more vulnerable, and he will lose P2 to Dylan Pratt.
Might lose P3 to Rodriguez too, but he is able to stay clear.
So there will not be a... Sorry.
Already a 2.5 second lead for Carter Friesen.
And he's already about to approach traffic, that being Bedimlik and Scylla. So there's no need for another pit stop. So, but there is still overtime that could upset someone's strategy if they took on less fuel, or if they need new rubber, whatever it may be. There's Scylla up the track in what is an abomination of a race car. Carl Childers sprints in front of the leader. Carter Friesen with the dodge. It'll remain a single car accident.
That was a close call for sure. An incident right in front of the leader, and I was kind of worried about that possibly happening with a group of 3 lap cars in front of him, but he got past all of it. But he did lose about a second off of his lead because of that.
And Childers with the ultimate domino, and that hits the pits. And even as a leader, you have to be at your best. You gotta be ready for anything.
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen it multiple times in this race, the leaders ending up with incidents happening right in front of them, having to dodge it.
A bit dim-like up the road from Friesen, that is a fellow DD Racing Toyota. In front of those two, we got the Lexus of Mattis Wells going up the track as well as Aiden McCrow and the number 40, pink and red, the number 4. Oh, nearly 3 wide.
Oh, they're getting very dicey around Friesen.
And Friesen, I feel like at this point, you have a good lead. Just play it safe. Even if they don't want to let you go, just don't bother making risky moves.
So 66 washes up in front of him.
But Dimlik not playing any favors to his teammates, and finally, Friesen gets around him.
One more car in front of him is Clements. And also Shmuda ahead of him, so. And that's just kind of how it is on these kinds of short tracks as well. You just don't have a lot of room, and you end up catching the lap cars very quickly. He has been navigating them pretty well. There was the one moment where he almost ended up in an incident with the 8 car, but other than that, he has been threading through these lap cars pretty well. And now the 3 car has to deal with them. He gets by the 8 and the 40.
As
Even
the car
Gibson's
spun
dropped back
backwards,
to.
that is Alexander Hunt on the inside wall of the front
Oh,
stretch. He
that's a
was
shame.
8th place.
He was having a good run. He was in the top 10 all day.
And he's in a bad spot, trying to find any
Mm.
gap he can, but
Yeah, he's gonna struggle to find a gap here. I think it would just be better to get towed at this point.
well, he's trying to face the correct direction at least,
Well, there he
and he
goes.
gets rolling.
Yeah, that's gonna ruin his day, though. That's
And
unfortunate.
that part of the track is still not cleared. Well, now it is. Daniel Silla went for a spin, but he tows it. Trawick with a spin. And same with Dylan Negron.
Oh, he saved it. That's the 10th place car that he just lapped.
And you just don't want to make mistakes all throughout the race, especially late, because there's not going to be enough laps for you to get your laps back. Even if you have overtime, there's only one attempt at it, so gotta be sure you stay on the lead lap.
Oh, trouble back straightaway. It's Wells again.
He's on the apron, trying to reverse to the pits, I suppose. And he will
That's
get
what he's
out
gonna
of the
do.
way.
And
13
trouble
to
on the
go.
front stretch. Yo, 2.
As Roman Gonzalez in a by armor car, one of several flavors he's chosen to run. But no caution yet.
Almost lost it again in the corner, but the wall saved him. And you're seeing a lot of cars kind of spinning out up by themselves towards the end of this run. Maybe just drivers trying to push it a little too hard.
It's just the case of using up your rears so much. With the banking you have, it's very easy to pin the throttle down early, but with this tire wear, it's going to cost them quite a lot.
9.2 seconds for Carter Friesen. I mean, he is
And
absolutely taking control of this race.
yeah, but Dunlop Pratt is just in a minefield of lapped cars.
Oh, absolutely. He is completely surrounded by slower traffic. That's definitely not helping him.
Yeah.
He's definitely hoping for that overtime.
Yeah, but there's a wreck. Oh, that'll be the caution. That might be the caution.
There
That's
it is.
Dimlik and Trawick on the
Watch
front stretch.
out.
Oh,
Yep.
Clements gets a piece.
And that is going to change everything. Less than 10 to go.
Friesen wins the race back. but wishes there wasn't even a race back to begin with.
He had almost a 12-second lead. And now he's going to have to hold them off for one more restart.
At least one more.
At least one more. No pits for Friesen. But everyone else is coming in. Oh boy. Everybody's coming in to get tires, but Friesen's going to stay out on the old tires. We'll see if this strategy works out for him.
Trawick gets tail happy, Braid saves in front of Alexander Hunt, and that just collects everyone else. Got Dimlik, Negron, got Clements. Gibson having to avoid, Gonzalez has to run into someone.
Yeah, that's just another situation, just getting tail happy off of turn 4. Pointed it out in practice. There are a lot of cars that were struggling there, that it might be a trouble spot, and it certainly has been.
So, as you mentioned, Carter Friesen stays out, and everyone else on the lead lap came in. Currently scoring Skylar Deeg in second place. I don't know if that's correct. You'll have to inform me on that.
Appears that there was a miscommunication on when the pits were open, so they're going to let Carter pit and keep his position.
Interesting.
And that's the reason why he didn't it.
And
13 is scored in second. I don't know if he's pitted yet.
here comes Carter Friesen.
He's
Usually your
coming in.
spotter will inform you when the pit's open, but I suppose it didn't inform at that time. Skylar Deeg also joins him in the pit lane. Not sure if the 13 will be given the same credentials as the 67 car. Now the laps are winding down under caution, and at this rate, I think it's going to be forced into overtime. Currently lap 122 of the scheduled 125.
We'll see how long it takes for the 67 to get back caught up. There he is at the back of the line, and it looks like he'll get his lead here.
And yep, it's 123 now, so they'll have to choose this time. It'll go green at lap 125, so it will go into overtime. And also, I believe
This
yep,
is indeed our overtime attempt.
yep,
67 goes low, 3 goes high.
First time this season with going to overtime. Only one attempt at it. 2 laps. Anything goes.
There we go. We saw how fast Friesen was in that last lap. Opened up almost a 13-second lead, or almost a 12-second lead. He's going to have to hold them off for 2 more laps if he wants this win.
Trying to become the first repeat winner this season. He fires off. 2 laps remain.
What a restart.
And Dylan Pratt's gonna have to hunt him down side by side for third place between Cole Rodriguez and the warping Thomas Troxel as they spin out of turn 4. Final lap.
Pratt's catching him. Will he have enough chance? Will he have enough time to make a move?
He has one more chance. It's gonna have to be now. Looks to the outside. Friesen slides up, but it will not be enough. Carter Friesen wins at 5 flags. Also had to include a little bit of dodging after the flag, trying to preserve his race car.
From last to first.
Amazing run for Carter Friesen, his second win of the season. In a similar fashion, once he got the lead.
That is second in a row.
Nope, but it is 2 out of the last 3.
Impressive. He came back from a lot. He started in last. He didn't post a qualifying time. He spun out several times towards the start of the race, but once he got that car, acclimated to the track, he was just on another level.
Going to look back on what happened during that overtime attempt. There was a wreck out of turn 4 that barely got our cameras. If I could find it. We've actually had multiple incidents. This first one, the one I barely captured, that was Bedimlik getting tapped by Joe Shbuda. Only a single car miraculously, but then it devolved into a mess, a parking lot, if you will, on the front stretch. William Gregory, traffic, Alexander Hunt having to skate through, having to do a little bit of damage, but ultimately gets wrecked by Gregory. Negron also collected. So I believe the order will get shuffled around quite a bit, so might be better if I just read out the order from the game and on the lap, not that what's currently posted. So Carter Friesen wins with Dunlap Pratt second, Cole Rodriguez in third, Stephen Gibson in P4, Landon Lyle P5, Joe Spuda P6, Cole Mather P7, Skylar Deek P8, Thomas Troxel P9, and Harry Crawford in the top 10. Dylan Negron 11th. Excuse me. Nicholas Bedemic 12th. Joshua Clements 13th. William Gregory 14th, and the final car to finish on the lead lap. Riley Trowick 15th. Roman Gonzalez 16th. Daniel Rodriguez 17th. Aiden McCrow 18th. Alexander Hunt 19th, and Carl Childress in the top 20. Mantis Mills 21st, Daniel Silla 22nd, and the final car to complete the race then is William Viola, Elaine Johnson, Brandon Carter, and Jelani Howell, the 4 DNFs for tonight out of 26. We do have one interview as of now, and that is our race winner.
User was moved to your channel.
Carter Friesen, do you got us?
I sure do, yeah.
From last to first. I didn't even think you were in contention to win. You were just a pinball in the trenches, but in the second half you just turned up the heat.
Yeah, I mean, I just like when I was at the back of the field, we really couldn't stay away from each other. So it was difficult to make ground up. I mean, we spun out lap 2 with the 8 car, got damaged right from the start. My hood was all bent up and the back end was pretty bad too. And then wrecked a couple more times, but pretty much after the halfway point, once I got towards the front and some of the, the, I don't want to say hazards, but the people that were bringing out most of the cautions or wrecking most of the time, they got out of the way. So it just helped quite a bit.
Well, heading into this race, you were leading Rookie of the Year standings, and now you're the first driver this season to win multiple races. Your team must be proud.
Yeah. I mean, this is a great way to start. That's for sure. Just very, very happy with all the efforts that that we've been putting in and everything. So, I'm looking forward to the rest of the season at this point.
You got any questions for him, Brennan?
Yeah. As you mentioned, you got into several incidents towards the start of the race. After that, what changed to allow you to be able to break out of the pack and get up front?
I mean, honestly, I don't really know. I think it was just once I got out front and I was kind of away from people, that's when it was just gonna be, setting lap times and or just smooth sailing from there. Like, and not having to deal with the with all the traffic and everything definitely helped. Just having that clean air, it really helped me to, kind of pull away. And then I think behind me, at least, it seems like people just kind of got stuck together or either got caught up in lap traffic. I wasn't really sure. The lap cars were definitely not fun, but we made it work.
Well, we don't have a race next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after will be Kentucky, another intermediate. Does it play into your favor?
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of Kentucky, honestly. We'll have to see how that's going to go because that track can be pretty difficult, especially with the different banking in each corner. So, we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping to just come home with the top 10 at that point. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, congratulations on your win tonight at Five Flags. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
User was moved out of your channel.
Well, no other interviews that wanting to come our way. Brendan, what's your closing thoughts?
Yeah, that race was honestly pretty crazy, given how few lead changes there were. There were only 3 different leaders, I believe, but there was no shortage of action throughout the field. It was very hard to pass up at the front, but Viola really had the field on lock for the first half of that race, and then as soon as he got spun out, it just got a little bit crazy. Friesen's comeback was amazing, of course, starting in last. And like I had mentioned in the pre-race, if you're out in the back, and like Carter himself mentioned, if you're out in the back, it's really hard to stay out of trouble. And he ended up getting in a lot of spins. So it was going to be a bit of a task for him to recover from that, but he did manage to get up into the top 5, and then he picked off all the cars in front of him one by one, pulled away, held off on the late restart, and he just drove a really good race. And yeah, that was an entertaining one for sure. I'm glad that I could come up and help call the race with you.
Pleasure is all mine. Coming up in the week of NR2003, CCRS heads to Chicagoland Speedway. That'll be the Pappy track, I'm pretty sure. That would be 8:25. Friday, busy as usual. Budweiser Cup Series, Atlanta Motor Speedway. That will be broadcasted here. Cheese Food Media will cover the next 2 races of the night. Narl heads to Infineon Raceway, while Essex heads to the fictional track of Vermont. Saturday, OSCC back in the swing of things, starting their season at Daytona. Then IFAR will follow up at Pocono. That'll be covered on Cheese Food Video. I'll join Zach for that. Then next time, BPNR, as I mentioned, off week. next Tuesday, but on April 7th, it'll be at Kentucky Speedway, covered here at our usual time. I'd like to thank Brendan for joining me. Anything you want to promote or any of that?
Um, yeah, sure. This was my first online race that I've ever called, but I do run some offline races of my own over on Left Turn Network. We're actually going to start our new season very soon. So if you're interested in online races, or in offline races, I should say, that'd be a good place to go. But otherwise, I'm just happy that I finally got to call an online race. It's been 10 months of trying to get things to line up and getting a series that will have me do it. So I'm glad that I finally got to do it, and I'm hopefully I'll be able to be in the booth for a few more this year.
Well, for a rookie in the online commentating booth, you certainly didn't skip a beat. I did enjoy working with you, and hopefully you get a few more chances down the road, assuming your schedule cooperates. That'll be
Yeah, it
it.
should.
Oh,
It
sorry.
should. I got pretty unlucky this month, so it should be a little easier from here.
Mm. And that will conclude our broadcast. Thank you for joining us. Next time I stream will be Friday at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Budweiser Cup Series. So until then, I can't speak.